In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can beat the competition with my common sense approach to publishing low content and no content books on Amazon KDP. Hello, my name's Ben McQueenie, and if you haven't been to this channel before, I make videos on how you can make a great passive income self-publishing low content and no content books on Amazon KDP. And if that sounds like something you like the sound of, then please subscribe to my channel, leave me a like and hit that notification bell. So when people are buying no content and low content books, what are they interested in? They are interested in value. Value is simply the price they pay versus the features that they get. So for example, if your low content book has more features, more things that are going to solve a problem for people who are buying, then you can command a higher price. But for example, if you had two books, one was a notebook that had 100 pages selling for $6.99 and another book that had 120 pages and was also selling for $6.99, then which one would you choose? Of course, it would be the one that had the most pages. So the point I'm making on value is that people want to get the best for their money. And when I publish books on Amazon, I always put myself in the browser's shoes. What do I want? What do I need? And which one of these products has the most value? So I'm going to show you how I do this now, but make sure you stay all the way to the end to see it all come together. Okay, so let's check it out. For this example, we are going to be using the keyword piano manuscript paper. And because it's got low competition and there's some good examples to show you. So what you can do is when you found a good keyword, you'd pin it into Amazon, and on the first page, you'd go through all of the competitors on that first page. And on that first page, you're going to be grabbing people's titles, and you'll add that to the list. The size, that's, the dimensions of the book, so that could be 6x9 or whatever. The amount of pages that book has, so it could be 100 pages, 110, so on and so forth. The price, and then any kind of features that book has that it's advertising, okay? So you can kind of see what those books have and then compare them all, okay? So on that whole page, you want to do that. Okay, so if we go over to Amazon and we're going to run that keyword, piano manuscript paper, and, let me just come off here. As you can see, there's only 1,000 results for that, which is great. But we just want to be concentrating on the first page, okay? Now, I'm going to scroll down on this first page, and you can see that we've got a number of sponsored titles here, which they're paying for to be there. And what we want to do is the ones that are coming up that are independently published, we want to try and beat them on kind of price or whatever, pages, so on and so forth. So here, if we just grab the title of this first book here, let's grab that, and we'll paste that into our spreadsheet. So there we go, put that in the title. Easy as that, okay? And what else are we going to look for? So obviously it was independently published, great. Let's grab this. So this is the number of pages that it has. So we just copy that, back over our spreadsheet, pop it in there. Easy as that. Okay, bring that back up. Look at its dimensions. So this is 8.5 by 11. Okay, so it's quite a big music book. Let's get that in there. And get the price. Put that in there. Very good. And then we're going to look at the features that this might have. Okay, so what you can do is if you just click onto it and have a look at anything that we could kind of class as features. So obviously it's 12 staves. You can see here it's got a treble clef and a bass clef for the manuscript, which is traditionally used for piano manuscript music. Well, just manuscript music in general. The alternative could be, without the treble clef and the bass clef, but that's kind of a nice feature, which it has. So we want to copy that, and we can put that into our feature column. Okay, great. So that's the first one. Now what I want to do is I'm going to do maybe a couple more of these just to kind of show you. Okay, so let's just go back and pull down a little bit. Okay, so we're not going to use this next one because this next one's actually spiral bound. So this isn't a KDP book. This is actually a physical product. So we stay away from that one, spiral bound ones. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one underneath. So this is a music manuscript notebook, 12 staves. Independently published, great. So just the same process that we did to the last book. So let's just copy the title, and let's just pin that into our spreadsheet. Okay, there it is. Back over and grab all the info. So the next thing we can do is the pages. So this is 120 pages. So you can see this one's got 120 pages. The last one had 101 pages. And it looks like it's the same price. So this one, for me, has potentially got more value than the other one because it's got more pages. Can you see where I'm going with this now? Okay, so let's put in the size. See, because it's the same size. So remember, if I'm a browser and I'm having a look at these kind of books, I'm kind of thinking, right, well, they're all the same size, but this second book has got more pages. But by the looks of it, it doesn't have the treble clef and the bass clef the last book had. You see? So this is where... Okay, let me just have a look here. Okay, that's interesting. Designed with love. There's lots of love in this book. That's a feature, of course. So if we just pull this down, this is just a standard... Yeah, it's just a standard manuscript book. It doesn't have a bass clef or a treble clef there, but it does have more pages. So depending on what the particular browser wants, you know, if they just want a blank one, then they potentially get this one. If they wanted the bass, treble clef and bass clef like the previous book, they'd go for that one. Okay, so again, it's 12 staves. Okay, and it's just blank, yeah. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's just go back. Okay, let that load. Pull it down a bit. Okay. So he's this one. I think that was a sponsored one as well at the top. But this is the organic link, rank, so we can have a look at this one. Okay. Let me just wait for my Amazon Quick View to load. We can grab the same information that we've been grabbing off the other books to kind of stack them up and look to see which one is the best or provides the most value to us. Okay, so again, the same process. Just grab the title. So this is music manuscript paper. So we've lost the piano element here. This is getting more general. Okay, so there we go, and let's have a look at here. So again, independently published. Okay, so this is again a different number of pages. Paste them in there. Okay, and the price. These prices seem to be kind of the $6.99 kind of price range. And again, let's have a look at here. Okay, so that's the same kind of dimensions. Okay, now let's have a look at what features this one potentially has, because it is doing very well. It has a lot of reviews and has a very low bestsellers rank, which means it's selling very well. So let's just have a quick click on here and see if we can spot anything that might be making that so. Okay, let's open that. Pull this down a bit. Let's have a look at you. Now, here's an interesting thing. you can see that it's got a notation guide, okay, and common symbols used in music. Okay, now the two books that we've looked at didn't have that, but this does. So it's got more value. So let's look on the outside. So they've just used the back cover for this notation guide, which is pretty clever. Very good. Okay, so I think we need to include that into our spreadsheet, our features, because if we're going to create a book, which is a piano manuscript book, we want to make sure that we've at least got the same features that these other books have got, okay? And that's the way we're going to make sales. So we're going to beat them on some characteristic, okay? So we've copied that over, and let's just put that into our spreadsheet. There we go. Okay, so let's just we'll quickly do one more, and then we can have a go at what we'd need to include in our book that we're going to create for this particular keyword. Okay, so let me just pull this down. Let's pick another one. And I think the, this is the way that I kind of do it. So, if you're going to make these sort of books, make sure that you obviously pick a good keyword, that, that there's quite a lot of interest in those particular books. Make sure that the books on the first page have a low bestsellers rank. And then you've got the best chance of making sales. Now, this is an interesting one. Here, why is this being sold for $2.50? That's a strange one. It's probably for kids or has a really low page count. So let's have a look. So it's okay, so that's interesting. Oh, there we go. So that has a very low page count. So this is for someone who just needs, a few pages here or there. So they're trying to beat people on price there. Okay, never mind. So that's not a direct competitor for us. And this one, piano music notebook. And as I can see here, this one is probably... Oh, there we go. It's a wide staff music writing notebook for kids. So... wide staff, I presume that's so kids can, draw big in it, put their musical notes in big and stuff like that. So it's not kind of, for adults. So what I would say is, looking at this, yeah, it's got kind of like a kid thing. There's an emoji on the front, for instance. So again, it's not really a competitor for us. Okay, but it is piano music notebook. Anyway, so if we just kind of stick on our theme that we've got, which is this kind of like 12 staves, piano, music, notebook. Okay, here's the one. So as I said, just quickly do the same process that we've done for the other three books. And if we just, we're going to grab the title, just like we've done for the others. This is a big title, this. So they've obviously tried to jam as many keywords in as possible. But putting too many keywords in the title actually dilutes the power of them. Okay, so let's just copy this price again. So they're all a similar sort of price. They're kind of the $6.99, $6.95 kind of range. Again, it's got a good bestsellers rank, so it is doing a lot of sales, good reviews as well. That one is 120 pages, very good. So I'll pop that in there. And it will be the same dimensions, won't it? Yeah, of course. So 8.5 by 11. Yep. Let's copy that and on the spreadsheet. Now, what we'd do is we'd put all these kind of, all this information on the first page for all the books. I'm only going to do 4 here, because obviously it's getting quite long, this video already. Let's see if there's any features with this particular one. Okay, does it have the notation guide? Yes, it does. There it is. So this is kind of equal to that one that we've just seen earlier, the one with the symbols and stuff. So we could just copy that feature back to our spreadsheet. Yeah, let's do that. Just put that in there. Okay, so now you do that for the whole page, the first page for that keyword. And then you'd go down and you would create what your book should have to beat this competition, okay? To provide more value to the browsers, right? So what you want to do though is with these keywords that are actually in this particular page, I would always have the title as the particular keyword that we've looked for. So it's piano manuscript paper, but in the subtitle, I would include some of the keywords that the competitors are using, yeah? But what you want to do is you want to make it kind of natural, not forced, but try and include those words. So as I can see, you know, I'm just typing in here, we've got blank, which is in that one there. What else have we got here? We've got music manuscript notebook. That probably needs to go in there as well. And, you know, you just kind of want to just use the exact same words that are being used by the competitors and just stick them in your subtitle. And but again, you don't want to make it too big because it does dilute the power of those words. So, and this just gives us an example of what we're going to include in this particular subtitle. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but you've got to make it look natural, because if you don't, you know, people can sort of, you know, it looks, you know, unprofessional, and what we're trying to do is provide value. Okay? So that gives you just a kind of a general idea of what we do with the title and the subtitle, if you were going to use this common sense approach anyway. Okay, so we've done that. You know, need to be natural. So let's look at the sizes. So the sizes are 8.5 by 11. So, for instance, if it was a 6.9, a 6 by 9 inch book, then 8 by 11 would beat it, wouldn't it? But so we're going to have to do with 8 and 11. But look at this, pages. So these tops are 120, but what we do to beat it is make a book for 130, which is providing more value. Now look at this. Why don't we just reduce the price by $1? Yes, it eats into our royalties, but if we appear on that page with 130 pages, but with the same features as the other books, i.e. the notation guide and the symbols, so we're $1 cheaper, but we you know, we've got more pages, but with the same size, chances are, going back to my original point that I was making, was that if you were a browser, yeah, you'd see that as more value, because we've got the same features, cheaper price, and more pages, okay? And it's better to be making sales at a lower royalty rate than getting beat by the other competitors. So you can see here, green means that we've beat them in general, and yellow, let's say, that kind of shows us that we are the same. Yeah, and red would be that we've been beaten, and you don't want any red, okay? And that's how I do it. That's how I make my little books to sell on Amazon KDP. So that was my video on how to use a common sense approach to tip the balance in your favour for when you're making these sorts of books on Amazon KDP. Now, if you've been publishing these sorts of books on Amazon KDP but haven't been seeing the sales that you would like, then why don't you go and check out this video, which might give you some indication of why your books are not selling. It's well worth a watch, especially if you're not making the royalties which you want. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!